Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Joe and Brian podcast. Today, we're going to be giving our predictions for the league phase of the Champions League. I am joined by Brian. Say hi, Brian.
Hi, guys.
Back to the cold opens, as this will be a recurring theme of this show. Today, though, Brian, I want to ask you, what are you drinking for this pod?
I'm just drinking a little Budweiser. It was in the back of the fridge, and it's kind of hot in my room, so it's a end of summer kind of vibe. Just had a cold beer and just enjoying the day.
No, I totally relate. I currently have a Leffe. For those of you who have never had a Leffe, go get yourself one. They're delicious. Great beverage from Belgium. But yeah, Brian, can you explain to our viewers how the league phase of the Champions League now works?
Right. Yeah. So before, what we had were group stages where all the teams just split up into little pots and you fought amongst each other in your small pot. Now we have more so like what we would see in like the US with the East versus West bracket, but it's just one big league phase. You're given 8 of the opponents and you're put into one big league, and so the winner gets immediate access into the knockout stage, and then positions 2 through 8 also get direct access to the round of 16, but positions 9 through 24 actually have to play an additional 2 more games to get into the knockout, and teams 9 through 16 are seeded while 17 through 24 are not, and that means teams 25 through 36 get knocked out and are eliminated.
Well, all right. Thank you, Brian. I guess we should start with our relegation candidates. Not quite relegation, but I guess our eliminated bracket here.
Oof, I got some crazy takes. I got some pretty big teams down here. I'm not gonna lie.
I made some biased selections here, but they're not based in nothing. But I did follow my heart a little bit.
First team you put down here. You were like, this team is number 36. Who was it?
Sure. I mean, that's kind of hard to say. I didn't put mine in any specific sort of order. It was a little too hard to decide amongst these teams. I think a lot of them are going to finish on equal points, all said and done. But I would say one of these bottom teams, I have Karabakh.
Okay. Yeah,
what are they? Azerbaijan?
I'm not sure. Let me check.
Yeah,
yes. They are.
Okay, good. Okay, nice. So I have them there. They're gonna be on the bottom. Who do you have next then?
I have them in a similar position, but I have Kairat Almaty.
I got them
they're,
there too.
They're the other team, so we probably have them inverse. Like if you have them bottom, I have them second bottom. So the Kazakhstani and the Azerbaijani teams, I'm glad they're in here.
Sure.
It's cool. I'm all for it, but I just don't see them being a real threat. It was probably their first time being in Champions League, so.
You're right, but one thing I do want to say, specifically for the Kazakh team, I saw a video that got released when the draws were official, and they were happy to get some of Europe's biggest teams. I will say these guys were excited for it. So, listen, these teams are going to be playing twice a week. They're going to be traveling a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if they steal points from at least 1 or 2 teams. I don't think it's going to be enough to save them, but I think it's going to make this league way more interesting.
Yeah, I agree completely. So then, what is your third from last team?
Yeah, sure. I have this. Once again, I do not know how to pronounce this, guys. I am sorry, but they are the Cypriot team.
That's exactly who I have too.
I love it. There's also no cross-referencing, people. I want to make that clear. No matter how similar these might be later.
Okay, fascinating. No, I think just looking at their fixtures, there's not that many points to be had here. Same with, the fact that they're just also not a country developed for having such a high level of football. Like, people aren't going, let's go to the Cypriot League. Like, people don't do that. They'll go to the Greek League somehow, but they're not high quality leagues, so I don't see them making a far run.
No, but I don't expect that either. But you never know. That's the beauty of football. There's always a dark horse. There seems to be. Joining them, though, I also have Union Saint-Gallen, or however you say that, the Belgian team.
Yeah, they are on the more exciting side of the team. If there is a team that somehow pushes into the playoff rounds, it would be them. It's just they have a tough run, and yes, when I look at it, when I just see big team versus small team, yeah, I don't see Union going in, but they might. They are the one team with enough quality to steal points here and there, and I think if they get a lucky, like a good enough matchup in the knockouts, they could make a stupid run. A stupid run.
Sure, and I think a lot of these teams, we might lightly discredit them, but I don't think that says much about them. It's more so just about the competition that they are in, and also while having league challenges. Joining these teams, I also have Bodo Glimt and Copenhagen. I don't know where you have them on your side of things, but for me, they're also going to get relegated.
Yeah, they're gonna get eliminated. But Bodo Glimt, we saw that great run last year. Just
they
playing
terrorized
there.
Roma before. They have it in them.
Yeah, and if you look at their fixtures, they do have a fair few amount of games at home, and that's really where their advantage is, being able to play at that artificial pitch, because they're so high up in the north that you can't have real grass there, so they have to play on these artificial pitches. And these other teams, these European teams, can't really compete. They're not used to that. So that's where they do draw
makes for some
points.
tricky matches.
They steal points, and I'd love to see them do it again. But I think teams are going to be a little more prepared this time, going there for their European matches.
Sure, I totally agree. Joining them, I also have Red Star to just finish up with the non-controversial teams I have in here.
Yeah, also there.
All right.
Nothing.
So far, we
nothing
have totally
really
agreed.
interesting there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now,
so
my
far.
next four teams are controversial, you could say.
Okay.
So, let me ask you, who do you have next then?
I guess. Ooh. I have Club Brugge,
Me
right?
too. And I know that's a hot take, considering they terrorized Atalanta last year.
I think it's just because there's some tough competition right now.
Yeah, they got liquidated a little bit this year too.
It's like, when people graduate, you want someone who graduated top of their class, but someone graduated bottom of their class. That doesn't always mean they were a bad student. It just means they just happen to be bottom. Club Brugge just happened to be bottom. It's a tough class. There's a lot of good teams in here. They just happen to fall down there.
No, I agree, but I think the team I have next to them is even more controversial.
Let's hear it.
Villarreal.
Me too. I have them in there.
I think that they could be sneaky. I just don't necessarily have faith in them, so I don't feel too ashamed to say that. Joining them, though, in this section, I have both Dutch teams. I have Ajax and PSV, which I think these might be a little biased on my end, but looking at the calendar, looking at the fixtures, I don't see them getting enough points.
This is where we start to differ, because I do have PSV, but I don't have Ajax in there. I do have Ajax making it into the playoffs.
I mean, that's fair. And I think as we move on, we're going to see some more interesting takes too.
Who do you have
as
for
far
your...
as I go, I have one last team, and that team is a little controversial.
Sure?
I believe so. Yes.
Oh, you're right. Oh, I'm a team over. I'm a team over in the eliminated. Someone gets a shot. Who is it? Ooh. Who makes
have Marseille.
You have Marseille going down?
Yeah, I know that's a hot take, but I don't believe it. I like De Zerbi, but no, it's not gonna happen.
You know what it is?
What?
My first instinct, Marseille eliminated, but because I was thinking they just sold like two starters. They sold Rowe, they sold Rabiot. I was like, these are two players out the system that De Zerbi is probably relying on, and now they're going to be shorthanded for the competition. And then I just started thinking about it. I'm like, De Zerbi. Like, I was like, he's got it. Like, I trust. And I have them just sneaking into the playoff round as an unseeded team, but I think I think it's gonna be a tough job for De Zerbi to do it, but I have faith. I think they're gonna do it.
Okay.
So you have in your elimination bracket, you have Marseille going down. You have Ajax and PSV. I also had PSV, but what we differed was instead of Ajax and Marseille, I had Sporting and Monaco.
Yes.
So, I mean, you got belief in Sporting. What do they have? Because they just lost Gyökeres. So what do they have?
You're right, and just going through the teams, I just don't believe in this Ajax team, and I think that's partially where my picks are going. I think Marseille might focus a little bit more in the league this year. They had a decent start to it. I think they'll maintain that momentum. To speak on those specifically.
Yeah, I think Sporting lost too much in the
see
form
why
of
you say that.
Gyökeres, and I just don't think they have enough to stay in. I think there'll be a disruption to a team or so, but it just won't be enough for them to get into the playoff round.
Sure. I mean, listen, we'll see. Ultimately, the players will decide where they finish.
Monaco, I just think they just don't have the squad anymore to
Well,
make these runs.
I hear what you're saying, but they have this young striker. He scored a golazo against Inter. When we played against him, he was their only real threat. And I know that it was preseason, but still, he was a threatening player. And I would just like to give a little shout out to him, and I think he could help pull Monaco over the line. But
What's his name?
I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it, but I can look it up. It's like
He might not even be there anymore.
I hope so. I hope so. I'm gonna look here. It begins with an A. Yeah, that helps you. His name.
So we should
is...
have the next 8 teams after this. We're going to be in the playoff round, but unseeded. Who do you have?
in the playoff round, but unseeded. So, as I said, I had Sporting. But as far as the rest of the teams go, I have Atalanta squeaking in. I have Benfica squeaking in. And here's another hot take, but Bayern Leverkusen is currently in disaster mode. They sacked Ten Hag and immediately got a result in the league, but I don't know how sustainable that is. As we know, the new manager bounce is potent. So I believe that they're going to finish low, but they will survive till the next round. That being said, I also have Frankfurt and Monaco, as I said earlier, and then two teams which I believe you also share, but I'll wait for you to confirm.
So we do have some similarities and differences.
Sure.
I also have Benfica squeaking in. I also have the Ajax from earlier. I have Frankfurt in here as well. I don't have Atalanta. I do think Atalanta are going to finish higher. And so I have Athletic Bilbao finishing a little lower just because the competition up there is tough. Nothing against them. I think they have some tough runs. Instead of you have Bayer Leverkusen. Bayer Leverkusen I have a little higher up. And in return I have the other German team, not Bayern Munich, but Borussia Dortmund. I think Dortmund, PU. Ugh, this squad sucks. I mean, brother, I can't. Who cares? This team sucks. Who cares? Who do you have? Bellingham? Who cares? I don't care. This team sucks. It's got no future. I don't see anything. What are they building towards? It's so boring watching Dortmund, and it's so disappointing all the time. So who cares? I certainly don't care.
Yeah, I personally think they're going to get rinsed in the league and then pull up some good appearances in the Champions League. That's just my opinion, but we'll see where I have them later into the bracket. As far as the two other teams, do you have Olympiacos and Galatasaray making it to the next round?
Oh boy, yes I do, and I think these teams are going to be 24 and 23. I think it's going to be specifically those two teams fighting for those positions.
I totally agree. I think one of them might get into it over the other. We'll see what happens. Olympiacos, like I said, that's a pick from my heart more so than it's going to do with them. I think going and playing in Greece is not easy for many teams, so I think Olympiacos is going to give them a tough time. Now, as far as Galatasaray goes, they actually have a pretty solid squad. They kept Osimhen. I think he'll keep them alive with some vital goals.
I agree. But competition this is a really tough Champions League, and now the
It's
teams are a
really
little more
hard.
accustomed. They're more accustomed to the league format. It's gonna be real cutthroat. I think before we saw teams that were basically like Liverpool won just about every single game, and then still got knocked out in the round of 16. But I don't think we're gonna see teams going 8-0 this time. I think we're really gonna be seeing teams fighting it out for first position, and it's gonna be a lot more intense.
Sure, totally agree. So I guess that would bring us to the next round. Who do you have in your seeded section?
Now this is where it gets fun.
I think there's going to be more agreement than disagreement here.
So, where you had Atalanta lower, I have them here. You also had Leverkusen lower, I have them here. I have actually have two Italian teams in here in addition. I have Juventus
I have
and
them as well.
Napoli.
I have them as well.
Oh, okay. And then we're gonna go across into España to Madrid and get a little Atletico Madrid in here.
Okay, I have them as well.
Okay. And then we're gonna take a trip all the way to Paris and Paris Saint-Germain. I think are gonna finish in here.
That's a hot take. All right.
Yeah. Then
I think they maintain the momentum personally.
I think they're gonna lose a few games. I think they're gonna get found out a little bit in the league phase, and then I think Enrique's gonna be like, "Cool, I understand," and then he's gonna come back even stronger in the knockout phase.
I
They
see
did
why
this
you
last
say
year.
that, basing that off last year. I just think they're going to hit the ground running a little bit more, but I understand your point of logic, and I think a lot of these top teams could end in these lower positions just by the nature of the competition, but we will see. In addition, though, I have two teams that... Well, I have a few teams that you don't, but where do you have Inter? Because I have them in this round.
I have you guys a little higher up.
Oh, that's a mistake. That's a mistake.
Your run is so easy. Your run is dead easy. You have the dead easiest run in the whole out of everyone.
And that's fine, but like the team mentally is not where it needs to be.
No, by the time you get to your like most difficult match, you've already qualified. So you run through Ajax. I imagine. Slavia Prague, okay, they give you a hard time, but not at San
We
Siro.
beat them. That's the only game I'm truly confident.
Union away, I feel like you get points there.
Sure.
Then you got to go all the way to what I believe is Kazakhstan or China. Are they making you play?
That's
in China
gonna
now?
be a draw. That's gonna be a draw. I think that flight.
Oh, actually, I'm completely wrong. You play at home. Actually, you play at the San Siro. You win that easy.
Okay.
Then you're real. And so what? That's 1, 2, 3, 4 matches that you should be winning 4
Sure.
out of 4. That's 16 points right there. I'm sorry, that's not math at all. No, that's 12 points. You get 12 points there. That's enough. That's enough to get you in a really good position. Then you verse Atletico Madrid at the Metropolitana. That's going to be a tough one.
Loss. I think that's
That's a very tough one. You might lose that one. That's all right. You're still in a good position from your previous games. You verse Liverpool at the San Siro. I wouldn't be
That's
surprised if you
tough
stole some
to-
points here.
There could
That's
be
a tough
draw.
one.
Could be
then
depending
you
on
have-
what team we're getting.
And then you have Arsenal also at the San
Or
Siro.
beating them. If there is one game I'm confident about, those Arsenal fans talk a little too much trash. They are not. As
I don't know. I think Arsenal might be some. I think you're gonna lose 3 games, but I think you're gonna come back with that Dortmund win, and I think you're gonna be fine. And that's why I don't have you. Well, I have you 8th. I have you like in my head 8th. I didn't put these in exactly the position, but in my head you're just squeaking by, just because of that good head start you have.
No, I hear ya. Like I said, I'm just not in full confidence with this team, especially after the result this weekend, which we'll discuss tomorrow on our next episode. There's some signs from Inter that are worrying. We'll see ultimately. I have them just to be safe a little lower. I think they will get through to the next round. And then I guess after this first game of the Champions League, we'll see what kind of Inter we're getting. I have 3 Italian teams. I have Dortmund here where you did not initially. I also have Tottenham in this section.
I also have Tottenham here.
Yeah, I think that's
So
a very respectable shout. Well, they're inconsistent. It's like rolling a dice, but I'm willing to believe in them a little.
I think Tottenham are salivating at the chance of or the opportunity of playing in Champions League, and I think that's what this whole season is really geared for. I don't think they're really fighting too much for a position in the Prem. I think they're fighting for a really as far as they can run in the Champions League, make as much money as they want. Then they use that to reinvest into a bigger, better push into the Prem for next season. So I think they're just gonna full send it for Champions League. That's all they really want. They just want to be here for as long as they can be. And we're gonna see a Tottenham that's probably pretty exciting in the Champions League and pretty tactically smart and intuitive against these other teams.
Ultimately, we'll see. I'm actually very excited for when we, after 8 matches from now, when we get to preview this very graphic and see how far off or correct we were. I think that could be a fun little game for us. I also have Athletic Bilbao in here as well.
Yeah, so where you have Bilbao, I have Newcastle.
I also have Newcastle here as well.
Yeah, I think Newcastle lost a lot. Obviously, losing Isaac was huge.
Sure.
It's going to be hard for them to bounce back, manage the Prem and the Champions League. I think they're still going to get a decent position, a seeded position, but like I've been saying before, there's tough competition. There's some pretty big teams. I mean, Olympiacos is back. Paris looks sharp. We haven't even gotten to the big teams of the Prem, La Liga. This is going to be a fun year.
No, I totally agree. I think that rounds out the seeded section. So now we're on 2 from 8. Who do you have going directly to the round of 16? Although at this point it should be pretty explainable because but that being said.
So I have Inter here already. You should know that.
Sure.
Now, I think you mentioned some teams in here, but I have 3 English teams. I have Chelsea, Arsenal, and Liverpool.
Same here.
All in the top 8. Then,
Actually, you're missing one of my eyes.
yeah, because I have them in a different position. So I have Inter, then there is FC Bayern Munich, coupled by the infamous La Liga pair of FC Barcelona and Real Madrid.
Very interesting. So we have a different winner, it seems. Here in this very section, I have Manchester City, I have Barcelona, Paris, Munich, and the 3 other English teams. And for my winner, I have Real Madrid.
And I have Manchester City.
Listen, they're both picks that make sense in my eyes. I think ultimately we'll see what happens. But these are going to be some very interesting final games going to the end of the league phase.
I have never been convinced once by Madrid ever playing in the Champions League in anything that isn't a knockout game. Anything that isn't a knockout game, they don't look very good in. But somehow they just manage to get by. And then when they get into the knockouts, then they start trying. Maybe. Because they still play shit for most of the game and then eventually just somehow win. But that's why I don't see them winning. There's no point in them winning this. They don't really gain to benefit anything. It could be just like last year where Liverpool won the league phase, but then ended up facing PSG, who won the whole thing.
Sure.
So
It just depends on who you
Real
get
Mad-
matched up against at that point.
I think Madrid are just going to take it chill. I think their players are lazy. Maybe Xavi Alonso gets that out of them. Maybe he coaches that out of them and they become a much more lean machine. But even at Leverkusen, they lost points to Liverpool, for example, as well. So.
Well, I will say I think your Catalan side is showing a little today. But that being said, I understand some of your points. I don't think Pep's going to have the best run. I think he will definitely get into that 2 through 8 position, and we'll see what happens after that. But, yeah, Pep's a big question mark. I would like to see what he does.
I think this is Pep's last year at Man City. I
agree.
think he plays one final Champions League run. If he gets the league, he gets the league, which he probably won't. But I think he's catering his style towards Champions League and something that will still do pretty good in the Prem. And I think I think this is going to be a big year for Man City in the Champions League, and I think we'd be remiss not to put an eye out for them, keep an eye out for them.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. I think we're going to have a very interesting year, and I'm very excited to see how this prediction goes. And I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised if we're entirely wrong. Who knows, maybe the Kazakhstanis are going to win the league phase. You never know.
So overall, we don't really. Sorry, I
Oh,
was
no,
just
you're
saying.
okay.
Overall, we don't really have too many differences. I mean, we just had a few here and there, but nothing really stark, nothing huge, which is kind of surprising because
Sure.
we often butt heads more often than we come together.
We do,
but-
but I think once placed in a sense of objectivity, especially after me being humbled by my team this year, I've touched ground a bit more in the world of football. So, yeah, I think this will be a really interesting calendar, and I really wonder how it's going to shape up. All right, everybody. So that's our recap. Feel free to comment in a few months from now upon this video and tell us how terribly wrong we were, or right. You know, maybe we are your guide to good financial futures. We'll see. But
What?
stay tuned.
No, never take betting advice from us. Never, ever, ever. Joe, tell them
Of
how much
course.
money you lost today.
Today? Oh, listen, I'm still up in the month, but it has not been a good weekend. Let me tell you something. Roma, yikes. The Unions lost 7-0, you know. College football paid me, but I'm not even an expert, so there we go, folks. So
Yeah,
don't
don't take
our
advice from us.
penny. No, but you know, if you do, shout us out. That being said, we have some new videos coming up, I believe, in the next few weeks. We'll have our Serie A match week 3 recap coming up. We'll also be having a Champions League recap of these games on Tuesday and Wednesday. I believe there might be a special guest, but we'll confirm that later into the week. But yeah, stay tuned for regular content. Brian, anything else you'd like to say to our viewers?
No. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to tell us what you think, guys. Please, we'd love some engagement. If you're here, tell us where you came from. Let us know how you feel about the pod. Anything you want to see different, anything you like, just let us know. We're here for you.
Sure, and if you don't know us and you are watching this video, once again, let us know. Because, I mean, the odds of that are pretty low, right? So,
I think so.
But yeah, stay tuned. Brian will be posting on Patreon later this week. Make sure to subscribe down there for more Brian content.
Ciao, ragazzi.
Ciao tutti.